Good afternoon, everybody. It is our Wednesday live stream show. Hi, I'm Mary Jo Coulihan. I'm the Executive Director of the Pagosa Springs Area Chamber of Commerce. I am super excited about today's show. It's kind of a first for us, and we're going to talk about the new community celebration video that we've put together to honor a lot of our businesses in the community and the COVID year. You know, it's interesting that it's coming out right now because as of, I think, yesterday was the official designation of we're in crisis with COVID. So everybody's talking about the first anniversary. Who would have thought we would be here 12 months later when we originally thought this would take us a couple months? And so as we talk about this show was actually created because of COVID and adjusting my screen there. There was so much information coming out on financial assistance and guidelines and we were just getting inundated with information. And so we actually created this show to help get the word out to our business community about actually what we could do and how we could help you. And it's morphed a little bit in the fact that we've added community members and talked about, we still always support a lot of the events that are going on. But again, that all ties into community and that all ties in at that time to COVID because events were so different. So it's really very fortuitous and kind of coincidental that we're releasing this video at just about the year anniversary. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. But before we bring on our guest, I do, again, want to remind everybody about some financial opportunities available. You have one more week if you are a small business under 20 employees, which covers most of the businesses in Pagosa, as well as a sole proprietor or independent contractor, to apply for PPP funds. This can be the first time you've asked, or it can be the second time you've asked. But as we've mentioned in previous shows, and we have those cataloged, so you can certainly go back and look at some of those shows that we have where people were with us and talking about the new PPP funding. But remember, if you're a second-time applicant, you do have to have had used up all your funds. The other thing is if you're a second-time request, you do have to show proof of a decrease in revenue of 25%. But this time, right now, until March 9th, next Tuesday, they are holding aside registration for these types of businesses and assistance to really help these businesses. So we have a lot of sole proprietors, independent contractors, what's called gig workers. If you guys haven't applied, please get out there and apply. The application is really quite, I don't want to say simple, but pretty painless and fairly simple as far as grant or loan applications are concerned. Now, remember that the SBA right now considers this a loan, unless you use it for items such as payroll, utilities, rent, and things that you may have needed to do to kind of offset what the safety and health requirements required because of COVID. So those can all be included now. So please, I keep going back to when Sherry Weiner with First Southwest Bank was with us, and she said, don't count yourself out. Go in there and apply and see if you can qualify. If you can get it through the SBA site, if you have a relationship with a bank or a financial institution here or an accounting firm, make sure that they are helping people apply and use that resource first. That's what you bank with them for. You need to build that relationship. So get out there and apply for this money. Don't leave it on the table, please. The other thing that we want to remind everybody is tonight at 6 o'clock, there will be an open house for the Leading Edge Entrepreneurial class. If you are a new business, if you are a business looking to expand, if you're a business that's sitting there saying, I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I can't get a hold of it. I can't move forward, or I can't be more profitable. This class is for you. It's about 6 weeks and then a graduation at the end, and it's extremely comprehensive. So please go to the open house tonight. It is free. You can register at sbdcfortlewis.org and find out more about the class. There is a cost for the class, but there are also scholarships out there. So the majority of your class could easily get paid for, and it's well worth your time. So again, open house tonight, and then classes start next Wednesday. Okay, I want to take the majority of our show to talk about our community celebration video. And I'm so pleased to have on my show today Gabrielle Dorr, who not only is the producer behind this whole series, but also is the owner of Supergirl Marketing and fairly new to Pagosa Springs, the Pagosa Local News. And so welcome, Gabrielle. We're just so thrilled that you agreed to work on this program with us. We weren't exactly sure, I think, how it was going to go. But just to let the community know, instead of the Chamber doing our annual awards, which covered the citizen, volunteer, nonprofit, and small business of the year, and we chose one in each of those categories, this year we chose 5 sectors. And within those sectors, we chose 3 examples of businesses or organizations that we felt were really impacted by the COVID year. And so those 5 sectors are healthcare, education, of course, small business, our nonprofit agencies, and government. So then we went to Gabrielle and said, help us. You're the video experts. And so, Gabrielle, I think this is great because you're usually behind the camera. So now I get you in front of the camera. So yes. Tell us from your perspective, how did this series of videos come about, and how do you feel the whole process went?
Yeah, I'm usually the one doing the interrogating. So yeah. Well, so when you first came to me, I still answered the phone when you called. And you said, you wanted this to be a community celebration, but it is about COVID, in the last year. And so, I want to just also preface and say that the COVID year was a hard year for a lot of people. There were a lot of ups and downs. And so I think that, this kind of has turned in more into like a human interest piece where we're going to learn the stories of people of how they showed strength and resiliency during the last year when things got really hard. So there is emotion in there. There is, I try to ask, what are the wins? What are the losses from COVID? Because, as many losses as we could think of, I think a lot of people can also find the wins. What was unique that came out of this year that maybe wouldn't have come out if it wasn't for COVID. So we really, when I was asking the questions of, the people who we were interviewing, I really wanted to get at, what are those things and what was it like for you personally, to kind of go through this experience. So there's going to be some of that in there. And I hope that, when we say community celebration, it's not necessarily, it may not be rah, 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 but it is going to be, it is a celebration of how Pagosa Springs came together, the people, the organizations, to help each other, to stay strong. And that's going to come through in terms of the celebration. So.
Well, and so much work, and I think you're right, the resiliency of it all. I was just finishing an article and talking about, it's not all bad. I mean, there's a lot of people that changed the way they did business and are keeping those changes because it just forced us to be even more creative in how we do things. And there are a number of organizations, our schools, our hospital, our healthcare providers, our businesses that really turned on a dime, thought outside the box, and incorporated those. And I think those stories will help tell that, you know.
Absolutely. Those stories are going to come through. And I think that I think when people watch them, they're going to feel a lot of pride for our community. And so that's part of what I wanted to convey as well.
Great. Well, and these come out starting when?
So
they come out starting Monday.
Monday, this is Monday coming up. So it is, what day is that? The 8th, I guess?
March 8th.
Yeah. Okay.
March 8th.
You'll be able to find those starting March 8th. And like Mary Jo was saying, we have 5 videos. And so we're going to release one each day to give those, each video its own spotlight. And I think that the series is kind of similar in a way. I tried to keep similar formats and that kind of thing. But I think that people are just going to be really enthralled with the individual stories of these people. And there's 15 people that we interviewed. So there's a lot of stories that we're telling. And, like you were saying before, we wish we could tell more. But we know that everyone did a lot of rallying together. There's a lot of unsung heroes that, may not be, we're not going to be highlighting in these videos, but you guys know who you are, and we honor you as well. And I think that, the people we selected are really the, kind of the inspiration, and show the dedication of what this last year took from everybody.
Right. So, Gabrielle, now that we've announced it, how can people, I know there's going to be a couple of different sources and resources for people to access these videos. What's the easiest way? What are maybe a couple of great sources where people can say, 10 o'clock Monday morning, I want to watch the first video, which is healthcare. So how do I see that?
There you go, 10 o'clock, it's coming out.
10 o'clock Monday morning, now you're on.
We'll be there. So we're going to have it on all of our channels for Pagosa Local News. So we'll have it, which includes our Facebook page, our digital displays in town. We'll be putting it out in our newsletter. They'll also all be on our website. And then the chamber will also have copies of the videos, and you're going to put them out on your Facebook page, your YouTube channel. So there's going to be, I think, between our network and your network, we're going to reach a lot of people, and we hope that, people enjoy them and share them and watch them. I was going to say maybe together, but we'll see.
Watch them separately together.
Yeah,
so.
there you go.
Or together separately, one of those two. And the other thing is we want people to share them. If your parents visit, or if your kids, have moved away and have gone to school, share them with them. Share them on your Facebook page. This is our community, and we've done well, and we're so proud of everybody. And again, these are examples to show the strength and the people that were at the head of making these decisions and changes and the impacts. And when you're kind of at the head of a school, or the head of a hospital, or a doctor's office, or a business, you have employees to think about, and yourselves to think about, and your families to think about. And so it's some great human interest stories, and it's about what makes us tick. And so again, from healthcare to nonprofit agencies to government, even people were like, why are you including government? And I'm not sure people really knew how the different government agencies stepped up to help the community. They're like, oh, that's their job. But I think our community went over and above some of that. And so we really hope that everybody joins us. Gabrielle, any last words or any insights into having made this video and with it coming out next week?
Well, we did try to show, you were talking about kind of, everyday lives were disrupted, right? So we tried to show that in the videos. We tried to show that, here, this doctor who, was, living COVID, was also taking care of her kids at home, right? So, or bringing them to work or whatever it was. So we tried to show that there was, that they're normal people like us, right? All of us who also had a lot of things to juggle. I'm a parent, and so I can relate to that part of it, having to work at home and help my son. So we really tried to show kind of the everyday lives of people, and I think that, like I just remember like a little thing from Rhonda Webb. She was saying, Dr. Webb, she was saying, I lived COVID. I lost weight. Just like, I'm the only one who
the only one in Pagosa who might have.
Because, she had, there was so much stress in the beginning of like, we've never done this before. How do we do this? So a lot of that stuff came through, of just what it was like for people. And, I think we all have a story like that to share, and so I think in some ways it's a very, familiar story. And then in other ways, there's probably pieces that you just don't know about people that you're going to learn about in these videos.
Right. Well, again, thank you so much for partnering with us, Pagosa Local News. And where are some of your screens around town? I know there's one at Ace Hardware and where else around?
We have one at Aquasol Waterfront Eatery, and then we also have one in the storefront window of San Juan Lifestyles. So if you're walking along the sidewalk on Main Street, you will see it.
Great. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, everybody, thank you again, Gabrielle. We really appreciate the partnership, and we're really looking forward to We Are Pagosa, the We Are Pagosa series starting next week, Monday. Everybody, please again join us in watching these celebration videos of our community and the people that make our community tick and have made us successful. And remember, for all you sole proprietors and independent workers and small businesses, don't forget to apply for PPP funds. It's so important for you. It just could make the difference for you and your business. So don't count yourself out, and step up and take a few minutes and try and apply. And that's it for me today. We hope that you will enjoy our videos. Our newsletter comes out on Friday, so make sure that you tune into that. Have lots of great information as well. Everybody, we're hoping for a little additional weather. Spring break is upon us as people come into our community, which means be extra safe. Our caseloads are ticking up just a little bit, so please make sure you're out there distancing and being safe and welcoming the people that we know are going to be coming to Pagosa to enjoy our snow. And let's hope tonight we'll get just a little bit more. That's it for me today. I look forward to talking to you next week and sharing more great community news. Thanks for joining us. See you next week. Have a great week, Pagosa.